Am I the idiot for telling my sister to stop projecting her insecurities on other women? My sister and her husband are going through very public marital issues. To give you the condensed version, basically, my BIL was caught cheating on my sister by my wife during an event she happened to be working. She is a bartender. My wife immediately told my sister, in private, without telling my BIL that she knew. And my sister proceeded to get very angry with my wife, accusing her of ruining her marriage. This culminated in my sister breaking down and screaming at my wife during a family dinner, calling her a whore who likes to break up marriages, and a person with no hobbies. My sister's very public rant about my wife led to my BIL admitting, in front of my family members, that he cheated. This, of course, led to more drama. This all happened a few months ago, and as far as I can tell, my sister and her husband are not going to split up. After this whole situation, I decided to distance myself from my family for a little bit. I thought that my sister needed time to process everything, and I didn't think it was fair to my wife to subject her to my sister's rage. I sent a long text message essentially telling her that I wanted her to sincerely apologize to my wife. My sister apologized, and I thought that it would be the end of that. My dad invited my wife and I to celebrate his birthday at his place. I knew that everyone would be there, including my sister and her husband, so I was a bit hesitant to go, but my wife assured me that everything would be all right. To start, everything was going well. My sister practically avoided us, which I didn't mind, and my BIL was glued to her side the entire time, so we didn't really face any drama. Everyone was cordial towards one another and no one mentioned my BIL's infidelity. At one point, I think my wife asked my BIL to move over so that she could sit down. She is currently on crutches. And when my BIL got her a chair and helped her sit down, my sister got extremely mad at my wife for being too friendly with her man. Her exact words. My wife was confused and explained that she just wanted a seat, but my sister wasn't having any of it. She started full-on yelling at my wife for doing what she always does and ruining other people's relationships. My sister has a loud voice, so literally everyone stopped and looked at her and my wife. My wife looked pretty embarrassed and just muttered sorry, and even wanted to go stand up, but I butted in and told my sister to stop yelling at my wife and to stop acting extremely insecure in front of other women and go for counseling or something. For whatever reason, my sister ran out the room crying after that, and my wife and I left soon after. My BIL texted an apology on behalf of my sister, but told me that I was a little rude and that I should apologize. My wife thinks that I may have been too harsh. My entire family is spilt, some saying that I was too mean to her. Comment 1. Sure, but, BIL isn't really the problem here. Of course he's an asshole, but the best case scenario is that this dumpster fire marriage ends, I'm guessing. Some couples have the emotional maturity and honesty to move past an infidelity, but this one clearly doesn't. So of the two poorly behaved people in this story, BIL and sister, BIL and his infidelity will one day, God willing, not be OP's problem. I'd honestly ignore him. But his sister and her delusions, insecurity, misogyny, whatever you call it, that will be part of his family dynamic regardless, and that's more important to address. After all, she's not gonna call it on her marriage and be able to work towards being less insane until she's ready to put the blame where it belongs. Comment 2. Absolutely this. More women need to be banding together against these poses, but too frequently a woman catches her guy cheating and goes after the other woman. As if she made him get hard and forced him to have sex with her, or he tripped and fell in or something. He did it because he wanted to. Team up on these triflin' ass wannabe men and stop going after each other. NTAOP is sorry, but sis has issues that she needs to deal with. She's just mad that it was actually said out loud to her face, and it needed to be. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for banning my sister from all family functions? Alright Reddit, here I am. Needing a judgment. I had a bunch of shit happen and I feel like I'm going crazy. I, 28M, have 3 siblings, 2 younger sisters, 27 and 25, and 1 younger brother, 24. We are really tight with our 3 cousins, ages 21 to 27. Our parents are together but have recently retired down in Florida. My aunt and uncle moved down there with them. So we've always done big family get-togethers with our cousins and extended family. As the oldest I've hosted since our parents moved, all my siblings and cousins are in the area still. My wife Caroline, 26, was best friends with my youngest sister Beth, 25, and that's how we met. My wife has always been part of the family and insisted we be the host for things as we just got our new house. So now to the issue at hand here. Beth had been married for 2 years. We all really liked him. Especially my brother. I found this all out recently, so bear with me. Beth came to my wife and told her she was having an affair. My wife told her to come clean, but Beth didn't right away. I didn't notice tension between them then, but now realize it. Beth did come clean but trickled truthed it. It was a bomb in our family whenever her husband sent the proof to my brother and my brother blew up our family GC. Calling her a skank. My wife has since stopped being friends with Beth. It's just been a lot of drama. I'm supposed to host Thanksgiving this year and we are already making the plans. My wife doesn't want Beth invited and neither does my brother and his wife. My sister wants her there still and has said as much to me. My cousins are indifferent. Basically saying as the host it's my call. My parents are going nuts though. I already had preliminary talks with them about what is the plan going forward. Here is where I am. I don't want my sister around. My wife and brother/Sale hate her. Everyone else seems okay with having her around. My parents are saying I can't just remove her from the family. I said if they don't like it then she can just visit them for the holiday or host it in Florida. This wouldn't happen though due to small kids and money. My uncle and aunt are backing my parents. Beth is apparently in therapy over everything, according to her FB post. So I feel like I'm being in. But I also don't really have any other option. It's my wife's house too. Comment 1. No, she brought a man into the family, a man they all liked, a man she was presumed to love. Then she make horrible, selfish choices and cheated on him. Then she drags her sister-in-law into it by telling her the secret, then not telling the husband despite sister-in-law encouraging her to do so. Destroying a friendship and any trust the sister-in-law could have had in her. Cheaters are not trustworthy, liars even less so, and dragging someone into your sordid, marriage-ruining secret is cruel at the very least. Then, by the op's admission, she trickle-truthed, and that means she dragged it out doing stupid things like saying that she felt unloved. She felt like she might cheat, she felt like she might cheat with that specific person, she's not sure this can be fixed, etc. Until apparently her husband was smart enough to finally get suspicious, and got proof that not only did she cheat, she was cheating before she even started her trickle-truth campaign. He immediately told his close friend, her younger brother. And then that led to it being shared with the family. Who now have to face their sister, the lying, manipulative cheater, who ruined their friend's life/the life of someone they were close to, and chose to repeatedly lie about it and drag other family members into her drama. No one wants to deal with that. Least of all the friend she betrayed, and the friend of her husband who had really bonded with him. If she wants back into the family get-together, she's going to have to give it a few years, at minimum, but most likely she's never going to be that close to her family again, though they may tolerate her for the sake of their parents someday. It's not really self-righteous, it's a natural human response to different levels of pain and betrayal. Comment 2. Honestly, I just see a guy who's at a loss. Like he knows someone is going to be unhappy one way or the other. If he doesn't invite Beth, Beth will assume he's taking her ex's side. Cue both sisters getting pissed off, cue more involvement from parents/aunt and uncle. If he does invite Beth, it's his wife and his brother who are upset. He chose his wife for a lifetime. And he was born with his sister and brother. So I can see why he wants to support his wife, apart from the house being hers. I've been in his wife's position of having to keep a secret BC someone else screwed up. It's a horrible place to be and builds so much resentment and anger BC you know they screwed up but can't say anything or risk blowing it all up. Thankfully, my friend just outright said it, though it took a week. Hers didn't. I can't even imagine what I would have done. Though I did have the pleasure of breaking other unfortunate news to my friend BC, she didn't. That being said, I only tolerated her for other people. Civility at best, ignoring her at worst. I didn't even read her messages. This matter is complex, and I don't think OP or his wife are AHs either way. No one is. They're all mad and upset, and she's gonna have to learn the hard way that integrated family dynamics in a family like this are the worst. When you screw up. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for letting my sister's ex stay? My 20F sister Emma, 25F, broke up with her husband John, 25M, last July. They were together for 5 years. It's been ugly, and one of them has to be lying. Emma accused him of cheating on him with a trans woman. She says he cheated on her when he was at work, and she found out. She said she asked him for an apology and for him to repent. They're both Christians, but she's more religious than him, and he refused, saying he didn't do anything wrong. John tells a different story. John says that Emma had been mistreating him for years, so he eventually left her and moved in with a guy friend. I asked about the cheating, and he said that argument had nothing to do with the breakup, that he didn't cheat, that Emma wanted him to repent for some of his previous relationships, and him refusing to made her suspicious of him. His ex is a trans woman, and Emma was trying to make him repent for homosexuality, and that's why he said he didn't do anything wrong. He said the only trans woman he knows at work is in her 70s. The cheating thing is too, he said. She said, my sister is transphobic, but I guess that doesn't mean it couldn't have happened. He did show me evidence that she mistreated him, though. I'm not sure if going into that would be a rule violation. He's also kind of acting like someone whose ex mistreated him. When he was telling me about it, he was really quiet and nervous. He was also living in a studio apartment with his friend, who lives like a pig, and my BF and I are renting a house with BF's son, so we eventually invited him to stay with us. So now he's here, and it's fine, he helps out and everyone likes him, but he is still acting like someone whose ex mistreated him. My BF and I get into a normal couple argument, the kind that starts and ends with laughing, and he disappears. He was always really friendly but never really showed any emotion, and now he's really quiet and a little too afraid of pissing anyone off. He's also depressed a lot. Yes, he needs therapy, but there's been issues and I don't know if he wants me going into that. Emma found out and flipped. She said I took his side, that I was condoning cheating, and how can I side with someone who hurt her? I told her what he said, and she said he was lying like cheaters do, and he probably hurt himself in bed with his new trans girlfriend. Edit. John is not currently in a relationship with anyone, let alone a 70-year-old. If John is lying, then he deserves an Oscar, because that's a huge personality change. Where I may or may not be the asshole, the truth is I don't care if he cheated on her. What he said she did was worse, and I believe him 100%. I also think it's ridiculous to say that we're picking a side when we're scared that he might be traumatized or something. I guess we could have left him with his friend, but I'm worried about him. I'm not close to my sister and she only called me because she found out, so please don't start evangelizing cutting people off. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm right to have him here. Comment 1. I don't disagree, but I also don't understand what the OP is posting for. She believes the BIL. She has chosen to support him over the sister she apparently doesn't like. She doesn't care about him cheating or not. On the other hand, any reasonable person would realize that becoming his confidant and moving him into her house was going to create drama with her sister, and it doesn't sound as if this man was in some desperate situation, so probably unnecessary drama. NTA, but OP, you have become involved in their conflict by choice, so good luck with that. Comment 2. NTA. Judging by what you're saying, your sister must have really fucked him up regardless of if he cheated or not. The fact that he is afraid of doing anything that might make someone upset is just a major red flag, on top of the fact that your sister just seems like a very hateful person in general.